modules, the CIs, are they finitely generated?
Yes, finitely generated. Yes. Yeah.
So this you mean by finite? Not only does it end, but
Yes,
the
modules are also
generated.
finitely generated. Yes.
Okay.
And
What are the ring theoretic properties of lambda G that you use?
that it's a regular Noetherian ring.
Oh, that's all.
Yes. Yeah, I should have said. So because it's a regular Noetherian. It's regular if and only if G has no p torsion. Okay, so we have generalized one thing that we wanted to do. We have the characteristic element. Now I want to generalize the main conjecture using this definition of characteristic element. So I can do it straight away here, but I want to sort of present a slightly more general perspective. So let me define this determinant, how to define determinants over this ring R. So I'm going to give a very sort of ad hoc and but simple to state description of determinant category by Fukaya and Kato. I think it's much better. I mean, the more conceptual way is to use this category of virtual objects of domain. I'm not going to say anything about that. So I want to define the determinant category. So what I do is I take category VR, whose objects are the following. So P and Q, where P and Q are finitely generated projective modules. So these are objects in PR. And then morphisms. So this is a determinant category, right? So morphisms should, all the morphisms, so if there is a morphism, it should be an isomorphism. So morphisms between such pairs, PQ, P prime, Q prime, is empty if P minus Q is not equal to P prime minus Q prime. Okay, so there are no more. This is in K0 of R. Okay. So in some sense, if the ranks don't match up, so if this is 0, this is 0, if the ranks don't match up, then there are no morphisms between the two. But if there is, then this is some K1 torsor. So this is K1 of R. And so what are these? So otherwise, if P minus Q is P prime minus Q prime, and so what is the what are these G's and R's? So G is just automorphisms of P. So what does this mean? So this equality in K0 means that so P minus Q equal to P prime minus Q prime if and only if there exists some other module. So there exists finitely generated projective R module, let's say P double prime, such that P direct sum Q prime direct sum P double prime is isomorphic as an R module to P prime direct sum Q direct sum P double prime. And so this G and I is, so G is just automorphisms as R modules of P prime direct sum Q direct sum P double prime. Then I is just isomorphisms from P, Q prime, P double prime, P prime, P double prime. And this is a, this thing is quotient of K1 cross I, and the action is just G acting on some element K. H is just G K G inverse H. So this is a K1 torsor. Okay. So these are the morphisms. And then my notation is the following. So this is a determinant R of P is just P0, P and then the zero object. Okay. So in particular, if I take morphisms from 0, 0 to 0, 0, I get K1. So honestly, or if I take morphisms from an object to itself, then I get K1 because the identity is a distinguished point in there.
Sorry, what are K and H there?
So K is a element of K1 of R, and H is an element of I.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. And so I should say that this doesn't depend on the choice of P double prime and so on. So there are things to check here. So this is the sort of the quickest but a very ad hoc description of this taking determinant.
And did you say what G K is?
G K. So G is a. Yeah, okay, I should say this. So G is an automorphism of this, and K is automorphism of something else. So I can yeah, it's a map from the direct sum so K is a class of something else, right? So let's say Q double prime alpha, and then G is the class of this P prime Q P double prime G, if you like, and then the product is I take direct sum of this and this, and then the direct sum map from it. So it's just a, I mean, if you like to think in terms of matrices, then this is just putting things on.
If you write your formula like this, it does not look like a left operation.
Okay, maybe I'll put it.
It's a mixture of left and right.
Let's see. Yeah, I may have done this. Let's see. Okay, the action may be.
Maybe we should put the G on the right side of the K.
Yeah, I think there's something there. Let me get this. Yeah, I think I should do the G on the right. Thank you. Okay. So that's my. So this is like a fancy way of taking determinant over. Some ad hoc way of taking determinants. Now, if I want to take, if C is a complex of, this is a bounded complex of finitely generated projective R modules, then I should, then I just take this to be C even and C odd, where C even just means direct sum I evens Ci, and C odd is just direct sum I odd Ci. So these are my this is my notation, and then the that P inverse is just 0 P. Okay, one can check that this. Okay, so I want to state the main conjecture now in this language.
So there was a more conceptual
Sorry.
point of view on this determinant theory?
Sorry?
You said there was a more conceptual point of view?
Yeah, so using these virtual objects that Delene construct. So Delene has, I mean, this is probably a somewhat old construction now of using virtual objects. I don't, never tried. Yeah.
It's the same, right?
It's the same, but this is more ad hoc. Yeah, I always sort of work with this construction because it's so easy to work with. Yeah. Okay. So you're talking to the right person in the room. Okay. So now I had this object last time which I mentioned, so I will define this time. So let me just work with over Z now. So T1. And so what was so I had Q, and then I had some F infinity which and with Galois group G. So now T is lambda G as a lambda module, as a lambda G module. But then I also take the following action of with the action of Galois group of Q bar over Q given by G acting on T is just G bar T, where G bar belongs to G. So this is there is a surjection from Galois group of Q bar over Q to G. So I just use this thing, and so there is this action. And this one is the tape twist. So recall that there was this cyclotomic character from Galois group of Q bar over Q. So I wrote it from Q mu P infinity over Q, but I can, so this is the p-adic cyclotomic character. I can use the surjection from Galois group of Q bar over Q to Galois group of Q mu P infinity over Q. So p-adic cyclotomic character. And then this twist one just means that I am so G of T is just chi G of T. Okay. So I'm twisting the action. So I'm taking X tensored with ZP, and the action on ZP is through this. So this is X tens. So X, maybe X is about M. So this is just M tensored with ZP1, and the action, so this 1 denotes that the action is given through the cyclotomic character. Okay. So fact, and this is a general fact. So now here let me say that I can do this with any any projective lambda G, finitely generated projective lambda G module which has a which has action of Galois group of Q bar over Q, I can always take this. So what is this? So this is so R gamma C. Let me forget writing spec. Just write this. So this is the mapping fiber. So I take the complex which computes étale, or complex which computes étale homology, and then I put
No, it's just QP, I guess.
yeah. So I was wondering if I had F or Q or K. T. So for any module here like this, I can. This is the mapping fiber. So this computes the étale homologies globally and locally, and this is just defined as the mapping fiber. Yes. So I can do this.
Some kind of continuous topology.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can just take a lot.
you can take continuous Galois. You can take Galois homology, so inversely. So.
Well, but continuous Galois homology. I mean, your
Yes.
coefficients are.
Yeah, continuous Galois. So coefficients are, yes, there is a topology of coefficients. Okay. So I can do this for any finitely generated projective lambda G module T with action of the Galois group which is compatible. So this is just a particular example of it, and other examples can come from if you have a motive, then you can and some extension, then you can again construct such examples. But I don't think I'll have time to go into this. So the main point is that you can replace this by more general finitely generated projective lambda G modules with action of the Galois group. And so one fact which basically follows from Poitou duality is that so I have to choose a representative of this to talk about this, but I'll ignore this fact. And so I mean, this is an object. This is an object in the derived category. So I have to choose a representative to talk about this in K0, but this is 0 in K0 of lambda G. So this just follows from computation of Euler characteristic.
Don't you want to add something for the Archimedean prime then?
Sorry?
So if you're just looking at some general extension of G of T, right? Or are you just looking at the cyclotomic?
This is just the thing that I had last time. So I'm just, instead of F, I'm just putting Q here. So this
So
contains
your
the cyclotomic.
Your F is totally real?
Yeah, this is what I had, but this doesn't depend on that.
But if you don't want to consider totally real fields, then you have to add something for the Archimedean prime.
Okay, yeah, sorry, yes. So, oh, you mean here in the definition? No, so my F is totally real, yes. Right.
You take P bigger than 2.
Or P equal to 2. So P was always odd last time, and F was totally real, and F infinity is totally real. Oh yeah, so there are some technical issues if I want to do this in general, but it can be done. The other thing I wanted to say is so when people talk about putting local conditions in Iwasawa theory, this is what they mean. So here the local condition is the most strict one that you put. So everything in here lies in the kernel locally. But locally, these T's as a local representation, they may have some nice subspaces, and you can take the cohomology of this T mod out by that subspace, and then take the mapping fiber of that, and that would give you some other local conditions. So this is what people usually mean when they talk about local conditions. Okay. Anyway, so from this fact, I get. there is an isomorphism from determinant lambda g 0 to determinant lambda g of c. So I will put this as c f infinity over q, or just c if it's clear. Okay, so there exists an isomorphism like this, and so then I want to say whether there is a nice isomorphism like this. So this is what Mignon meant by, because Mignon meant by getting p-adic normalization. So choose an element in the in some line bundles which has nice properties, and so this is what I'm going to do next. So main conjecture can now be stated as there exists an isomorphism. So L, which is L f infinity over q from determinant of lambda g 0 to determinant of lambda g c, such that the following thing holds. So if psi pi to the n is, so psi, I mean, remember I had some distinguished psi there, but this psi could be anything that factors. So let me write it as to q p bar cross. So this is the cyclotomic character. So phi is as before. Rho is a finite order character. Because I stick to totally real fields. The field cut out by rho is also totally real. So I'm fine here. And n is even. Okay. So then what this does is this, I can extend it. Okay. So this lands inside actually some. Okay. So k over qp is finite extension. So I can extend this as a map from lambda g to, so this should be okay, to okay. And then I can change the rings here through this map. So I can take L rho chi to the n, and this goes from determinant of OK 0 to determinant of OK tensored over lambda g with c. Okay, so this is how I'm changing the rings, because I'm tensoring everything with OK, and these determinants are compatible with this stage. And so here what happens is that this OK tensor C with lambda G is acyclic. Maybe I should do it with K. K. This is acyclic. So because it's acyclic, there is another trivialization. So this acyclicity gives a canonical, some kind of, so this is as very similar to what we saw in Professor Truman's talk. So this gives me a canonical trivialization of this complex, and so I write this canonical trivialization as some map like this. So I compose these two morphisms and I still denote it by this notation. So this is determinant K of 0 to determinant of K of 0. And now this is an element in K cross. Right? Because when I take isomorphism between same objects in this determinant category, I get an element of actually an element of K1 rather than like K1 torsor. So this is the special point that I have because of the acyclicity. Okay. And so then I want to such that L rho chi n, this thing is this L value that I had last time. So L1 minus n rho, but I have to remove Euler factor at P. So 1 minus rho chi to the n. Rho chi to the n P. Yeah. So the main conjecture says that there is a very special isomorphism like this, which spits out L values when I evaluate it at certain points. Okay, so now this doesn't use any structure theory or anything. It's a very general thing, but this isomorphism it lives in at least when you think about classically or theoretically. It lives in some K1 torsor, so it's not an element of Iwasawa algebra.
That wonder factor gets most power of P, doesn't it? You don't want it to ever vanish. It's really 1 minus rho chi to the other side.
Yeah, I mean,
Then there's a P.
I should write it like this, I guess. So minus n p p to the n minus 1.